Live. Brandon T. Adams and
we're live.
James Whittaker here. Just give us one quick moment. I'm just going to share this into the Win the Day group. Brandon is doing likewise to the Success in Your City group.
See here, I'm going to share it. James Whittaker. Anybody that's coming here, say hi. Say where you're from. What you do. How do you do? Oh look, James is live.
You're live too.
James is live.
What a funny coincidence. Anyone that's watching right now, can you just let us know that our microphone, we're using this fancy external microphone here, so hopefully this is working all right. If you've got any questions about video marketing, about branding, about relationship counseling, you mind if I say that?
I mean, hey, I can do that too.
Brandon got married last year in Nashville, and I was the celebrant,
the merrier.
Yeah, the officiant, whatever you want to call him. So that is a piece of history we will always be tied together with. But Brandon and I, we have had the opportunity to do so many things together. We first met at the Think and Grow Rich, the Legacy Project.
Yep.
Brandon's not only in the film and in the book, he was also the one leading the crowdfund that raised more than $400,000, which was, I believe, a record for
that was
for a docudrama of its type. So that was pretty awesome. Brandon's done crowdfunding. He had his own book, best-selling book, Keys to the Crowd. Hi, Charlene. How are you doing? Thanks for watching.
Hey, Charlene. How you doing?
Anyone else, if you're watching, let us know where you're tuning in from. Don't be those, the stalkers that just happen to watch without commenting. So let us know where you're watching from. Let's get into a little bit more about Brandon's background. So an Iowa boy who now lives in Minnesota is doing some awesome things going around. So in this Facebook Live, we've only got about sort of 25 minutes because we've got an event to go to in Santa Monica. We're going to be going into everything about branding and video marketing and Brandon's background. I've already got some questions to ask him that people have submitted previously in the Win the Day group. So if you've got anything along the way, hit us up, all questions. Tell us where you're watching from. Let us know if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay. Brandon Adams, how are you, my friend?
I'm here. I'm in Los Angeles, baby, and I'm in your studio.
You are. So living in Minnesota, this must be a nice change coming.
I hear it's cold.
California.
My wife said it's really cold in Minnesota right now. If you're listening, honey, I'm sorry. I'm wearing a t-shirt.
Hopefully Brandon still has a wife to come home to, or I might be officiating yours and Sam's next weddings. All right, first question. Give us a quick elevator pitch on what's going on in your life right now. I know it's been a crazy time, and I know you're only 30 years old. You've got a seriously impressive resume as more the things that we've spoken about. What are you working on right now?
Yes, so right now, as you know, we did the premiere of our TV show Success in Your City in October, and so we released that, and we just released on Amazon Prime, so you can go watch the first episode on Amazon Prime. That's out. We released our book, The Road to Success, which is back there.
I don't know if it's
we're back there. We released that. It'll be in bookstores in September, but if people want to order bulk orders, they can contact us. What I'm doing right now is traveling the country, doing a lot of speaking, and really I'm catering and helping real estate agents build their brand and influence online through the power of video. So I just spoke in Washington, D.C. here 2 weeks ago. Spoke to a group there. I'm going to be doing a VIP dinner in Dallas this weekend. Going to be going to family reunion. So working with agents and building their brand and really focusing on video. I mean, video is the most powerful thing, as you know, James. I mean,
we're doing a video right now.
But video is the most powerful thing, I believe, to tell a story, to help build your brand. Because for one, people can see it, they can hear it, they can feel the emotional connection behind it. Video is the best way to tell a story. And if you can build like and trust with people, people are more likely to work with you. They're more likely to buy from you. And when you're sharing your content on a regular basis, like last night I was just at the movie premiere for Lewis Howes, Chasing Greatness, and I was showing people inside my life. I was showing at the red carpet, showing the experience. People are watching. It's almost like I have my own reality TV. Oh, I do, but having my own show on my phone and just showing people inside your life. And when you do that, people are more likely to go to you. And when you communicate your message on a regular basis, as you help people, you got the Win the Day Mastermind.
The Day One Mastermind.
The Day One Mastermind.
Yep.
And when you communicate constantly about what you're doing and how you can help people, people attract to that. and they're more likely to come to you for that. So always be sharing your values.
Sure. And I guess these days, a lot of people say, well, I can't do video content, or I'm not very good at branding, not very good at video marketing. But it's a better time than ever, right, to be able to get focused on this. I mean, we're recording this on an iPhone, and I mean, everywhere
high quality too.
Yeah, it's great quality. Everyone right now has got pretty serious devices that they have, and if they think they've got some inferior device, well, look back to what we were using sort of 10 years ago. I mean, is that right? Everyone right now, wherever they are in the world, as long as they've got at least a device and an internet connection, they have the power to be able to start to establish that trust with the world.
100%. So here's the reasons why most people, you're watching right now, this is probably one of these is going to be going in your head, why you aren't creating video content. One is you don't have the right equipment. You don't have the right camera. Well, I'm here to tell you, as a producer that's used the $15,000, $20,000 cameras to using the phone, I use 98% of the time creating my content regular basis. I use the phone. I use the phone to create content because our phones have a high quality camera. You create it, you put it out. You don't even have to do any editing because when you have a camera, like I have a Canon 70D, when I film that content, I got to take the SD card out. I got to upload it, all that stuff.
The phone as well, aren't they?
The phone, you can just do it. So there's no excuse. Use the phone. I use the phone. The next thing is people don't know what to say. So they're like, what do I say? What do I do with my hands, Ricky Bobby? Yeah. What do I do with my hands? What do I say in front of the camera? The quickest thing, easiest thing is think about what you want people to know you as. How can you help them? So share your areas of expertise. Be constantly sharing that and who you are, how you can help people. Share stories, share experiences, share your daily experiences, bring people into your life, share your core values and your beliefs. And that makes it a lot easier. When you're sharing things that you already know, you already experienced, you don't have to think of things like, oh, what am I going to talk about? Just talk about what you learned for the day. Yeah. What was your life lesson? Those are just two things that holds people back from doing content. The next thing is, you say you don't got time. James, you're busy. You got a kid. I'm busy. I'm traveling. You have time. I can take my phone. I can create a 60-second video, share who I am, how I can help people, and direct them somewhere. Get that phone, upload to my Facebook, write my text, copy that text. After I post it to Facebook, go to LinkedIn, post the same damn video, put the text in there, and then I go into the next one, Instagram, make changes, add some hashtags, could tweak it a little bit, post there, post 3 videos, 3 pages in 10 minutes. Don't make it complicated.
For sure. And you know what? I feel like a lot of the things that Brandon just spoke about then, it really shows the power of consistency, that simple and consistent action, because it's not posting one video on one platform that does well. It's posting it, being everywhere, being omnipresent, so you can start to establish that trust. We had one question coming through. How do each of you keep your energy levels so high? You go first. Brandon's energy levels are higher than mine, just to confirm. How do you keep your energy levels high, my friend?
I have 10 espressos a day, sometimes 12. No, I'm just kidding. I love espresso, though. I've only had 2 today, but 3, actually. So I just love what I do. I mean, I love being in front of the camera, so that helps. I love communicating. I love speaking. And I feel like when you love what you do, you're going to bring energy. If you don't love what you do, you're just going to be dull. For me, I always want to get better every single day, and knowing that, I want to get better in video. I want to go and strive and help more people and make a bigger impact. That excites me. So when you do things that excite you, you're going to be energetic.
So true. I completely agree. When you find work that you love and when your purpose is bigger than your fears, I feel like that's when... I do feel like there was probably an element for both of us where we reached a stage where we knew that... I think people are naturally introverted about trying something new for the first time, but when you start to develop skills around public speaking and all these things are completely learnable, well, you realize that if you want to have an influence or an impact or build empathy or trust with another audience, that you really need to be able to connect with them.
Yes.
And the best way to do that, like on my public speaking, they teach you speak to the audience, except speak 10 or 20% louder than you think the person at the back of the room needs to hear. And once you know that, or you've done as much speaking as you and I have, then you know the difference. And if people have seen us speak, they see the energy that we bring. The big thing for me as well is when admittedly I'm horrible in the morning, but the moment I have a hot shower and a coffee, as long as it's a really good quality coffee, I'm pretty relaxed about everything else in life. But I'm pretty particular, as you know, about morning coffee. So
he loves his coffee. I want to do it, by the way. I want to do a shout out to Robert. What's up, Robert? He was at the Live to Grind event.
Oh yeah, of course. How you doing, Robert?
Who else we got here?
We got Tim on there. Tim in Queensland, Australia.
Up? Jerry. Oh, I love your mother. How you doing? Good to see you through the live. You see me, I don't see you. So going back to that, you're talking the energy. Obviously, again, just sharing what you really love, showing your passion, sharing that, being consistent. And again, why aren't people creating video content? Because they just don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Just share your past experiences. Yeah. And use the phone, man. Just use the phone.
And even if you're scared, start. It's like when you're scared of a freezing cold ocean, you've just got to jump in, stay underwater for as long as you can, and then you're good to go. And you're like, wow, this was actually really refreshing. Yeah. And then the sharks will do the rest. All right. Anyone else who's just tuned in, let us know where you're watching from. If you've got any questions for Brandon, if you've got any questions for me, you can even throw them in. But it's him in the hot seat, which is nice for a change. It's nice to be asking the.
Well, I want to ask you. So before you throw to me, talk about. I mean, we're big Think and You're Rich fans. Obviously, we helped create the movie and the book and everything else. You wrote the book. Let's talk about the power of the mastermind.
Yeah.
So why are masterminds, and I know the answer to this, but why are masterminds so powerful? Because you have a mastermind that's coming up very soon. Why should people join mastermind? Just talk about the benefits that it's done for you, and even you and I together as we mastermind over the past couple of years. What's it done? Why should somebody join a mastermind?
Sure. Well, everyone I know who is on the most accelerated trajectory right now are the people who have invested in finding mentors who... So there's two different types. The ones that I really... Well, there's many different types of masterminds, but the ones career-wise that I feel like are very, very powerful is finding people who already have the success you want, and just pay them because you get access to their network, listen and do exactly what they say, and all of a sudden your journey, you will be much further than you ever thought possible. You can dream much bigger than you ever thought, and you will get there so much faster. And the other one, which I've had my very first official mastermind when I was 22 years old in Australia, where it was me and 3 other guys from different backgrounds. We met in a boardroom. We would investigate a company. We would talk about investment opportunities. We would practice public speaking. We would we would take topics out of a hat, and you'd have to speak on it. We would practice absolutely everything. And then when I moved to LA, and you know the guys that I'm talking about here.
Oh yeah,
people like
ballers. I love those guys.
People like Jesse and Wes and 40 and Kempy and Pete, where we would catch up every month and we would chat about everything that's going on. So some of the things that we've covered: people who have started businesses, people who have exited businesses, people who have looked at getting engaged and then married, people who have had children. And when you're at people who are... The trap that most people fall into with masterminds is finding people who are exact clones of themselves.
Yeah.
And all that happens when you're an exact clone is you're going to get the same answers. Yeah. You're not getting out. So by being able to get a very diverse group of people, the day one mastermind that you brought up, we've got people from Asia, we've got people from Europe, America, we've got people from Australia, from all different backgrounds, all different ages. We've got a really eclectic mix of people, and that diversity is what enables people to grow and challenge each other very, very quickly.
So talk about the diversity. When you get a unique just group of people from different backgrounds, different experiences, different knowledge, just areas where they know their thing best, you bring them together. From my experience doing masterminds, you learn something from everybody. And then when people have their aha moments in the group, like I always learn something from somebody. Even if you as putting them on, you'll learn something. But it's just the perspective, the power of the numbers. It's proven when there's more than 2 minds together, you're going to be able to create ideas and thoughts you could never do by yourself. And one more thing, talking about masterminds, paid masterminds. So some people think, okay, you have a mastermind and they shouldn't have to pay for it. I will tell you from my experience, when people pay attention, but also when the person that runs a mastermind gets paid, there's a psychology behind this people don't realize. It's paid, people receive, they're like, oh my God, value, I need to give value in return, and vice versa. So know that when you're joining a great mastermind, you want to pay for it. You want to pay for the mastermind. You're going to get more value at it. You're going to focus more. The other person's going to get value, and they're going to give you more value. Do you agree?
Absolutely. And everyone, as long as they leave ego at the door, then you're good to go. And I mean, Brandon and I have been to many masterminds together, and the moment that you walk into these places, the energy, you can feel it from the moment you walk in there. It's this instant trust. And that's what I like when most people, they think about, they're worried about what people who they went to high school with are going to say, or they're worried about family, friends and things are going to say. And that's not the right place to be in. You want to go and find people who can challenge you, get out of your comfort zone, and ideally long enough that it's going to create that change. Whereas Brandon and I, and I'm sure a lot of you watching, get hit up a lot for advice. But if you're having a half an hour call with someone every 6 months or a year, it's hard to get super deep. But if you've got a mastermind that goes for ideally between 3 months and even 12 months, that's a great way that you can get massive traction and really focus on results. So that's a big one. Robert, you're looking, what did you say? I don't have a business, however, I'm open to joining a mastermind. As well, you should be my friend, and if you can't find a good group of people, let me know, and I will introduce you to some.
Robert, dude, he's a baller. I like Robert.
Yeah.
He's a really good guy. He's smart.
All right, Brandon.
He should join your mastermind.
Yes, you should, Robert. What are the biggest branding mistakes you see other people make?
Branding mistakes. Well, I would say the number one thing people are afraid to do is they're afraid to really be just clear on their message, a core niche. Because they're afraid if they have that core niche, they're only speaking to that one audience, that other people they're losing out on opportunity. The thing is, if you're trying to speak to everybody, you're speaking to nobody.
Yeah.
So one thing I really did, a big pivot for me, is communicating directly. I work with a lot of real estate agents, specifically the top 1% of real estate agents in the country, and I help them build their brand and influence online through the power of video. You see, that's very clear, very articulate in what I'm doing. For you, figure out what you want to become the best at and communicate that. When I started, when we had met, how many years ago, we talked about the Thinking Towards crowdfunding campaign. I wanted to be the best crowdfunding expert. So everything I did was I communicated crowdfunding. I shared tips on crowdfunding. I went on podcast shows doing crowdfunding. I did Facebook Lives crowdfunding. I started a podcast show on crowdfunding. I wrote a book on crowdfunding. Everything was crowdfunding. And as I did that over time, everybody came to me as crowdfunding. They still come to me, and I don't even really do crowdfunding that much anymore. I had built the brand. So when I wanted to transition my brand into the branding and video marketing, I had done that. I enjoyed the video. So what I do? I create a lot of videos. And now I'm so annoying in the fact that every day, go create a video. I want you to remember me as, oh my God, Brandon told me to go create a video. So I'm always communicating that. So for mistakes, most people are afraid to go in on one area. What's going to happen is if you go in on that one area, you're going to attract people that you're speaking to, and you'll attract other people too. Like for me, I say, hey, I help real estate agents. I still have people that aren't in real estate come to me, but the core niche is the real estate audience. Be very clear on who you're communicating to, and then constantly communicate that message and do it on a regular basis. It's not going to just happen overnight. It takes 6, 12, 18, 24 months, and keep doing that, and you're going to see traction along the way. And then what you need to do to really build your brand is once you work on these people, have them share their experience on camera, use the power of the video testimonial, and they will help you grow. That will exponentially grow your business, your clients, your revenue, because you have the success stories that will share it for you instead of you having to share it all the time yourself.
Brandon will be the first person in history with a television screen as his tombstone in the sandwich picture. I feel like a big trap. A lot of people who are middle-aged or have already had a previous career and they're thinking about, well, what problem am I going to solve? They think that just because and I was like this at some stage as well, just because you've had a past experience doesn't mean that you have to incorporate that into the solution that you're currently offering right now. So I love all the work you're doing around the whole real estate agent thing. It's a great niche. They have the capacity to pay. It's a huge market, gives you an opportunity to help people. And on the video testimonials, you can't turn a written testimonial into video, but you can turn a video testimonial into written. Yes. And if you've got a very well produced group of testimonials, which I know you focus on, then it's an amazing resource that you can leverage to help get more and more opportunities.
Christina, good question. Christina was actually in my mastermind. We hung out in Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Christina calls I love you. I'm going to see you in like a week or so. We're in Florida, yes. But Christina said, what should you look for to find a good mastermind? I'll just share my quick tip, and then you can say, I would say find somebody who's already achieved what you want to achieve, and then get in their mastermind. So I look at if somebody wants to build a massive brand, if they want to learn how to be seen online, communicate their message, they would work with me. So because that's what I focus on. Whatever it is that you want to learn, find the person that's done it and join that group and learn from them. What do you say to that?
Absolutely. My answer for this, as you know, because I wrote extensively about it in Think and Grow Rich, The Legacy, and then in this new book, Andrew Carnegie's Mental Dynamite, I actually wrote a blog post on it, Christina, which I'll put in here. I'll reply to your comment and I'll include it here. Because it's mapped out, it's got different scenarios and things, and it's actually got an itemized list of attributes that you can use to go and find a good mastermind. Because there's a few things that if you follow a few broad themes, and you don't need to worry so much. Oh, Brandon Adams just tuned into our...
I just tuned in for a second. That was me.
if you focus on a few of these things, then you don't need to worry so much about the nitty-gritty. So I'll send you something on that, but it's really, really important and a very, very good question, Christina, and I hope you're well, because I miss you very much. All right, so we had some questions from Danny in Sydney, who wasn't able to tune in live. So let's go to them. The very first question, we only had two. How do you make your brand, not you personally, but how do people in general make your brand stand out from other brands? I guess it's a very noisy world now that a lot of people are getting into video.
I believe your brand is who you are, what you stand for, what you do for the world, your story. We all have unique stories. The more you can share your story, again, people buy from who they like, trust, and know. And so when you share who you are as a person and what your values are, people will ultimately connect to that. And again, figuring out what you want to be known as. For me, video. So what I do, I did everything I could to be the best in video. I won an Emmy Award. That's a high prestigious thing in video. I went and produced TV shows. I spent over $500,000 in video. I did all these things that made me seen as well, actually expert, because I think when you do that, you're definitely considered an expert.
I actually forgot to mention that you had won an Emmy. Brandon has won an Emmy Award. Him and his whole team, they did such an exceptional
Thank you.
job.
But no, so you look at stuff like that. Here's the thing. When you figure out what you want to become the best at, win those things in that area, those milestones, win the awards, become the speaker in that space, do all these different things. And here's the different things to build your brand. Speaking, sharing your expertise to an audience, going on a podcast show or creating a podcast show, creating video content, creating your own show, writing a book.
Yeah.
These are all things that build your brand and make you different than your competition. And when you do one of them, it's helping you even more stand out. When you do all of them, which we've done, when you do all of them, it ultimately takes your brand to the gods. And so that's what I would suggest. And just think about the one thing that you do differently. One last thing, the thing that I did differently back in the day for crowdfunding was to stand out. Then I gotta do a shout out to Sab Ali. But the one thing I did is I was the only person in the world that I know that went on TV across the country and promoted local crowdfunding campaigns on live TV. They didn't even know I was doing it, and that made me different. I did that. Saba Ali, shout out to Saba Ali, who helps a lot of people with building their brands. Saba Ali did, on her last year of college, she did a Facebook Live every single day for 300 or whatever amount of days during school. And I don't think there's anybody else in the world that I know that did that. And that got her as a TEDx speaker. It got her on TV. That made her different. And she was known as a girl that was a person that did daily Facebook Lives. Figure out what you're thinking that's going to make you stand out. Do that, and it'll help you become known and stand out from the rest of the noisy crowd.
Sure, and I think when you tap into your vulnerabilities, most people run away from the things that give them the most fear, stress, and anxiety. So if you can find a way, which is another big thing we'll be doing in the Day One Mastermind, to really tap into this vulnerability, that you can turn it not just from a weakness, but you can turn that into a strength and figure out a way to monetize it. These are things that we'll be going through the mastermind that are so powerful. So for me, when I had all these massive debilitating issues with anxiety, which is something that I kept to myself for a long time, but then when Success Magazine said we need an article for you for our summer issue last year, I wrote about that, and it was such a release for me to be able to do that. This big vulnerability that I had.
Yeah.
And then so many people messaged me and emailed me and contacted me afterwards to say, oh my God, I'm battling with the same thing. It's one of those things, I guess it's like back pain.
Made you human.
Yeah. If you have gone through it, oh my God, you have huge empathy for anyone who's gone through it. But if you haven't gone through it, then you don't really understand it. So it's a great way to establish that connection. And also not being afraid of pissing people off, right? Because sometimes just ostracizing one part of an audience can engender you a little bit closer to another audience. So I think that's important. But good stuff. All right, we've only got a couple of questions left because we've got to get to our event.
Oh, we got to get to the mastermind. Well, a networking event.
Yeah, you are 30 years old now. You don't look a day over 25.
Halfway to 60.
30's the new 50 anyway, whatever they say. How did you achieve so much at a young age? This is the second question from Danny.
Good question. Well, define achievement. The whole purpose of the show, Samantha and I created, is success. You're saying, what is success? So people, they think, well, achievement and money, make a lot of money, or the trophies or whatever. First off, success is what you make it. Whatever your version of success is, you achieve it. If you want to become the best mother and you have kids and you become the best mother, that's success to you. If you want to become the best video guy, well, become the best video guy, help the most people, whatever you clarify as success. So just talking about what you achieve by 30, hey, I feel like I've done some cool things, but I think success to me is really doing what I love, being around people like you that I love, that I like to hang with, and being around cool people and using my talents to help as many people as possible. To answer the question, how I've achieved what I've achieved, I become super focused on what I want. When I say something, I do it. I don't just say it and then blow it off. Successful people, as you know, when they commit to something, they're committed and they follow through with it. So I stay committed to what I want. I write my goals down. I surround myself with people like yourself, people that can help me along the way, because it's not easy. Surround yourself with a mastermind group. Have mentors. Find somebody who's already achieved what you want to achieve. Follow in their footsteps. How I became really good in video and even won the Emmy Award is I have a director who's really good, and he's got 13 Emmys, and he knows what he's doing.
Perfect
so I learn from him.
Yeah.
So I learn from him. So finding somebody who's already achieved what they achieved, following their footsteps, have a great significant other, because your significant other will make you or break you. Literally.
I meant to include that earlier, actually. One of the best masterminds, probably the most important mastermind.
It's between you and your significant other.
Yeah, exactly right.
Finding the right people, and again, just always pushing yourself outside your comfort zone. Do not get to a point where you're comfortable. I personally, anytime I have some kind of milestone or achievement, I realize, okay, that's cool. How can I push myself even more to do something that scares the hell out of me? Because when I do something that scares me, I grow, I get better, and I advance myself, and I learn things that can help other people and allow me to grow as a person.
Sure, and when people talk about taking a risk, I feel like there's a huge misconception between the difference between taking a risk versus something that's just a bad decision. If you start dating someone who you think is, or who you know is very destructive for you personally, but you think, you know what, over time I think they're going to change, that's a bad decision. That's not risk.
No.
Risk carries with it a chance of failure, but it also has a huge opportunity for success too. So you need to figure out the difference between risk and bad decisions.
One last thing, conviction. You have to believe in yourself. And I know that's so believe in yourself. It's true though. You have to really affirmations and conviction in yourself, because when you truly believe in what you're doing, that conviction, people that you talk to will see that in your eyes and your facial expression, your confidence, and because of that, they will buy from you. They will follow you. They will help you. How do you believe in yourself? It's affirmations, it's repetitions, because when you do things on a regular basis, you work, and as I create videos, I become confident, and the more videos I do, I become even more confident, and people see that, and they're more likely to work with me. So believe in yourself, because belief in yourself and conceiving, whatever the mind conceives and believes the mind achieves, and whatever you think about the most of what you become, think about thoughts that really help you go towards where you want to go and not go to the negativity. Think positive.
One of the best quotes or pieces of advice that I've ever been given is what I included in Think and Grow. It's a legacy, and it's the most important opinion is how you feel about yourself, which I think is a good way of summing up everything Brandon said. People, we have to run shortly. I just wanted to...
We love you all.
I also wanted to quickly acknowledge Brandon, because he's one of the best people in the world that I know of for focusing on seeds that you sow rather than the harvest you reap, because most people are so focused on what result am I going to get today, and they get pissed off when they go to bed without the result. Brandon wakes up and he grinds and he grinds and he grinds, and as a result, he's had some amazing successes. The dude is 30 years old, he's got an Emmy, and he's been in all these incredible things. So I'm honoured that you are a good friend of mine. Danny's just tuned in. We're about to wrap up, my friend. So I
want to do one thing, though. I want to just say James is an amazing guy, and I will say everything I've done since I met him, I trust in my life. Obviously, he married me, and he's
just tuning in as the celebrant, not...
He's somebody that I trust, and he's somebody that's really helped me a lot over the last how many years. It's hard for me to open up to a lot of people, and I can open up to him. And having that is powerful. And just knowing if you guys are thinking about joining his mastermind, don't think, do it. The guy has helped me so much. He's helped me make a lot of money, and I trust in my life. If you're not happy, hey, I will give you your money back. It's like, seriously, I trust this guy. He's a great guy, and he will help you find success. He's definitely helped me in a lot of areas. And yeah, that's all I got. I love it.
There you go. Double your money back if you don't like the Day One Mastermind. I was going to say from me and then from you as well. If you want to check out the Day One Mastermind, I think we've only got 2 places left. So if you want to get involved, definitely go and reserve your place right now. I'm having a one-on-one call with every single person who is registered because I want to make sure it's the right fit. So definitely go and check out. Go to theday1.com. One is spelled W-O-N, theday1.com, or click the link in the description. Brandon's new book, The Road to Success, is out now.
You can go to successinyourcity.com/The Road to Success.
Go to successinyourcity.com as well. Go and check out everything.
You can find it there too.
Connect with Brandon and his awesome wife Sam. Instagram, Facebook, and everything that they're doing. I'm truly honored to call them. Very, very
family.
Good, yeah, family.
My
absolutely.
Australian brother.
Absolutely. And everyone out there, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope this session has been of value to you. If you're watching the replay and there's any other questions that come up in the future that we didn't have time to answer here on the live, we'll get on and we'll make sure Brandon can answer those questions. Everyone, as always, go out there and win the day, and we will see you very soon.